Your beer, sir.
Yeah, we started it.
That's
I'm going to rep
revolutionary.
the Stockton's finest, if you don't mind. I wanted to...
So it's already rolling?
Yeah, it's already going, bro. So I'm not doing the intro no more. There's gonna be a cartoon of me.
Oh, really?
I'm doing it. So now it's
and
gonna
the
be
mics, everything's good? We haven't have to check
good,
it?
bro. That's why I like it.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming to you live.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be lit whenever whenever he feels like it's a good time to cut in, he's gonna do it. I give it up to him, bro. I mean, I wouldn't trust. Why would I give him the?
No, that's tight that
why
he's
would I
helping
give him
out.
the wheel if I wouldn't trust him to?
Dude, animation and cartoons
like.
like that thing, it gives a continuity to it too. I could already envision it. I could think it'll be sick.
Yeah, and I trust him and be something different, and then it'll be something that's just consistent.
We could still sing it for the fuck of it though.
You want to?
Yeah.
All right, here. Wait.
I got a little trumpet sound. I got good trumpet sound.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. There we go. Here we go. Harmon Warhol Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Harmon Warhol and Braxy. Yeah, that's a good start to going into it, bro. But thank you for coming today.
Oh yeah, man.
Hey, you like my setup, bro? Remember like it was at your house and everything?
Yeah, last time we were on the couch, still looked decent, but this one looks way nicer.
It's just a little bit more controlled and, nice surroundings.
Definitely.
And, professional. It just gives it a more professional feel, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Heck yeah.
It makes me feel like a professional. I feel like I'm actually like somebody right now.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I think we're all aiming for that sometimes.
And without you, there's no me. That's why I give even the viewer, thank you for just watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube. And I don't know, this is just great, man. I'm just so happy. I'm on my fourth podcast today.
Sweet.
I had a bunch of, everybody was different. And then people was like, that's a lot of interaction. I'm like, these are all people I like to be around. So why wouldn't I? I get
Joe Rogan of Stockton.
The Joe Rogan of Stockton, bro.
The more you talk to people, multiple people, that's podcast poppy.
Yeah,
you already know, because I can only imagine. It's cool. You get new perspectives. You learn things. You grow. That's a good vibe.
Yeah, bro. I'm coming an overall better person, and it's helping me just learn how to have conversations. And,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, and I get to kind of control my human interaction, so I'm just not out here wilding sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And there's a place for that, but yeah, and like that. You said it well. It's just talking to people is awesome,
yeah. Yeah. It's just it's rare because I'm like a guy who likes to talk on the phone, like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like texting's cool, but I just feel it's kind of fake. Maybe because I'm fake when I'm texting, just because like it's set up, like especially because we're writers,
Yeah, it's like two versions of our brain too.
Yeah, it's insincere sometimes because that's like sometimes I can't even if I wanted to, I can't jot my first idea or feeling to you or describe it, And so I kind of give another answer to like either just give.
And it's not a great analogy, but it's almost like freestyles versus written raps or anything like that. It's when you're talking on the phone, you don't have to think. I think sometimes the act of actually trying to write something, I start thinking of what I'm writing more.
Yeah.
And in that thought of that text, I could lead to all kinds of things. Or I just get lazy. I'm like trying to explain something like, this would be like 2 paragraphs if I really explained it right. So but I'm trying to write 2 sentences.
Yeah, so you say K.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, that's like my dad. I'll say something super important and his text back won't even make any sense. So like 2 words are like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's like,
I guess we're good. Like if I didn't know him better, I would think he's like pissed off. But he's not.
It's just this elite
minimalist.
That's how some people are. Yeah.
Exactly.
But what's up with you, man? Since the last time, it's almost been it's been less than a year, but it's almost been like a year since the last time we did a podcast.
Yeah, I was looking back at the date. It's been like 8 months or something like that. It was like March.
That's so weird to me, bro.
Because it felt like 2 or 3 ago, right?
Yeah,
time flies.
Yeah, but time flies.
Yeah. It's nuts. Same stuff, different day for the most part.
Yeah.
The main difference from now till then is I'm still doing music, but I'm lucky in that I know we've talked about this once before, but I get stoked every time I bring it up. The fact that I'm not just teaching now, but I'm teaching a beat making class.
No, I think you weren't teaching it yet.
I wasn't. That's what I mean. So that's the main difference.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's not just that. I can't believe I didn't bring it up in the last podcast because I was rewatching our first one and I was like, March means I probably already had permission. It was already going to happen legit. And I probably told you that day, like, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we hadn't ordered equipment yet. So now the fact that
it's going because you even had people come in and everything. And you've been, just the stuff you posted, the kids making their stuff and everything. It's
crazy.
It's so that's honestly, bro, because even with Zeps, it's really hard for me to cater to children and content or just interaction just because, it's someone else's kid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want to cross the line of like, you know what I mean, exposing, you know, my perspective, you know, to them and to influence them a certain way. You know, I just want to be a positive influence. So it's not that I'm saying like, oh, I think I would do mess up or anything, but sometimes I get freaked out on like those situations.
Yeah, it's
you know?
different. And it's like societally, I get exactly what you're saying. Because sometimes I just want to give like the tool or the thing to the student without giving too much of my own information on it.
Because it's biased.
It's biased. And they're going to be like, any talking head's a talking head.
Yeah.
Even if I'm still keeping it real and freestyling, you know, the average teenager at a certain point, if I explain some technique I use in my beat making over like extensively and too much, they're gonna like tune out and be like, yeah, I don't want to even use that tool anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's like even if I'm like explaining it the right way, or you're right, or if I have some epic view on a certain thing, you guys gotta listen to underground. It's all about underground music, not just the money. They'd be like, wait, what? And I'm like, no, you listen to whatever you want.
Well, yeah.
And they show me music. They put me on some stuff sometimes. I don't like all of it, but some stuff they show me I would have never found.
Yeah, I was talking to other people. Sometimes it's like I'm really heavily influenced on people's image and like what they put out. So it's like funny because like the other day, two artists was 6ix9ine. He was in my phone and they played, and I was like, "Oh, this song's tight." And then I looked down at my screen. I'm like, "Oh, damn, this is a 6ix9ine song." You know what I mean? And I was just like, "Oh, damn!" Like, you know what I mean? If I take out that, you know, the persona, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm able to let myself just to enjoy music fully. You know?
Yeah, and it's hard to do that sometimes because I always attach like what I know about the artist to the artist. It's like a package deal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's on me. You know what I mean? And that I appreciate that. Like just knowing like even like a lot of the hip hop and stuff the reason I like it because I can't do because it's so authentic and street, but it's not too mainstream. Like I like Freddie Gibbs, Currency, Big Crit, Flashfoot Zombies, Action Bronson, and I don't know me.
I saw Flatbush recently.
Yeah,
it was
really?
pretty cool.
They're dope.
Yeah, I'd never seen them before. It was a fun time. Yeah, they're just jumping around, having a good time.
To me,
yeah, they have a cool vibe. I didn't know their music that well. But they are kind of like modern day Wu-Tang with their simple, like in certain ways, with their simple, just kind of like
inflections
rugged,
on their voices and stuff.
Going crazy on the track, not monotonous.
Flatbush,
yeah, cool.
Yeah. So what's the project you've been working on? Because I saw you had put a video out. You could talk about the video because the video was well done too.
Yeah.
It was new too of how you kind of did it, you know, and it kind of actually the video showcased your personality pretty well too.
A little bit,
kind of like almost like that was like in your mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like I didn't have a huge concept going in. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to shoot some cool stuff.
Who'd you do that with?
SM, but I think he changed his name recently.
Oh, it's Fifth Dimension.
It's Fifth Dimension, right? Yeah, because that confused me at first. I'm like, is this the same one? And then I had to scroll through it. But yeah, so formerly SM, Spaceman, is now Fifth Dimension, and he kills it. You know, everyone knows the name in Stockton. He rips it. Every video he touches always has he has a good vision with his videos.
Yeah.
He knows he's one of the few videographers I could work with where I don't have to give him a lot. I just trust his vision.
Yeah.
I like co-directing stuff too with some other guys I work with. I almost take the lead on the direction.
Yeah.
With him, I let him take lead, and he had some cool ideas. And we went to that same spot that you shot for that video, Boomerang, that same spot that you and Dialect shot with on that track. What was it, Slumber?
Slumber,
Slumber. And
I can't. How dare these fuck boys?
That's all good. That track. You guys went there when it looked a little different too, because you know it's like an abandoned lot or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's going to change over time depending on whatever people do in it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think it's going to be torn down or.
Well, I wonder what it looks like at this point. It's either torn down or maybe the city took a hold of it, or maybe not.
It was all boarded up.
Yeah, and
ours wasn't boarded up.
Exactly, you guys could still go in and stuff like that, and. There's still like some areas that look like a window where people had gone in and squatting or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was definitely squatters there.
But there was also a lot of
I broke one of the windows.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. The deterioration was like heavier in the outside areas though. Like I forgot to look at yours again for reference, but you know, it's just all kinds of random stuff. I feel like more junk had been dropped off.
I probably have herpes.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. All the garbage and everything out there. You gotta be careful. So
man,
it was like
gross.
I
can't believe I did that. I laid down someplace.
Yeah, well, when we were shooting out there, there's a part, and it was a fun video. We shot it in like 2 hours or something like that. But there's a point when we were on a boat, and like that was the shot, and he wanted me to kind of like headbang, get crazy for he's gonna put an effect on it when I have these goggles I bought that are kind of like just kind of psychedelic, steampunk kind of look. And
then you saw a dead body.
Well, not quite. That would be a more hardcore story, but it smelled like that. You could smell some dead animals or something. But when we were on the boat, I was jumping up and down. He said, "Do everything for the shot," and the boat like leaned a little bit. We were used to that. We were getting used to it, but then it fully tipped the other way. And we both fell over. And dude, that guy's on it because he holds his camera
because he has
perfectly. Yeah, because that's his yeah, exactly. Doesn't let it. Yeah. I was like, man, props on that. You took the fall and I took the fall, camera. But he saved the camera and then saved the shots, and it was a fun moment.
We did climb the roof, but the first attempt or whatever, I slipped off and I fell like fucking almost on my back. But luckily, there's a ledge, and instead of falling like back on the ledge, I landed on like my thigh butt area. It was more like I landed on my butt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like the impact wasn't that bad. I felt like straight because I was able to like lead because I was like about to fall back, but I was keeping like leaned up, so I didn't do it. So it landed right on my butt.
Yeah.
But we climbed up that roof. And then we were dancing up there, and my foot went through the roof. And then Zach was like, yo, we're leaving. I'm getting out of this roof.
That's when all goes crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's good you didn't get hurt. Your body
bro, but who cares if I got hurt, bro? It
would have been a good story,
I look back at that video. I wish... I guess I had more input from the guys and people just telling me because I guess it was off a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't know. Like
I have to watch again. It's nothing that noticeable. At least
I didn't think so either, bro.
Yeah.
But some people did or whatever. I thought maybe that's probably didn't help it like get better or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was fun though. It was a fun little video. If people would check it out. But your video too.
Yeah, we just shot out there and just wanted some clean shots and.
It was cool.
I just remember a couple times he would do this like move where he almost has to spin around with his back to keep the shot like this kind of like
thing. That's how
he got like this circular motion. And a few of the moves I think he was even trying for the first time because like there's some acrobatics involved in him doing that. Yeah, just weird like angles. I love those the freehand shots he does. I like a lot. He also has that the rig that's like. Those things are crazy. They follow intuitively your movements and everything. Yeah. The little gimbal kind of thing.
But yeah, with the gimbals.
Those are sick. But I like his handheld shots. And he just edited it, and he gets back to me pretty quick. I like that video a lot. So that was the first single off my new upcoming album that's called Scratch Paper.
Okay. That's what the project's called, Scratch Paper?
Yeah, Scratch Paper.
I did see some of the promos and stuff.
The funny thing is on our last podcast, I was calling it Fumes and Fresh Air.
Really?
And I'm glad I went back to look at that. So... It's not called Fumes and Fresh Air anymore. This is the artistic process. Sometimes things change.
Yeah, it changes all the time.
I had like 3 titles in mind, and I still like that concept of Fumes and Fresh Air for like the 2 separate ideas that are kind of like juxtaposed. But Scratch Paper makes sense to me. I mean, shoot, I have some Scratch Paper right here.
Yeah, you wanted to shout out some producers and stuff and people you worked with on this
project? Well, maybe we could slowly talk about it however you want to, but I just wanted to talk about the tracks a little bit.
Just go through them. But so Scratch Paper, like why'd you, from Fumes and Fresh Air, why'd you change it to Scratch Paper?
Scratch Paper is, I like simple titles that don't sound like, I don't know, almost too narrow with what they mean.
Broad.
Yeah, broad, vague meaning's cool. And like, let me throw it back to you. When you first hear the term Scratch Paper, what does it make you think, like immediately?
Scratch paper is just thoughts and ideas, just kind of like whether it be a drawing or words, you know what I mean? You're kind of just throwing them all up there, so it's more like an abstract thing of concentrated ideas and like but little things, like so you might have 4 bars with a doodle that has the idea of a you know what I mean?
And you create all that right now. Just from that one thing.
Well,
that's dope. And I think a lot of people, if they hear it, already have something like that. Like Scratch Papers where you jot down your before thoughts before they're finalized, or Scratch Papers where you have pieces of verses or wherever. And essentially, I just call it that because a lot of these songs felt like they weren't finished, and some felt like they were. And I think as artists, sometimes it's way too easy to judge ourselves and beat ourselves up and get in our heads and not release stuff. And I already know I have an abstract style or kind of a different style, so why fight that? Yeah. I have some songs that are a bit more traditional, I guess a little, because they have more of a trap sound. Then I have one that's like a folk song that sounds like just me and a guitar and me like burying my soul on the track, and it's vulnerable and it's scary, but it's good, and it's one of the tracks where I'm kind of scared to show people, but I also know that it works. And it's
how do you feel about doing that? Because just to relate to you, I have a song coming out on Valentine's Day with Darian Fields. You know,
okay.
Darian. He's in your group too with Zeps, right?
Yeah. Guac is Extra or Vault 209 or... We have a few.
And then shout out to Darian Fields too as well. He just released a song for Stockton, and
it's running the numbers up already.
Yeah, 20,000, over 20,000.
Yeah,
it's closer to 30,000. But really shout out to Darian. But I have a song with him, and very vulnerable song. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm scared. It's nothing. It's like I've done it before and stuff out there, but it's been a while. So like, how do you feel? It makes me feel weird sometimes because like when you show a song to someone, you know, most people want to like chill, and I'm like, it's a sad song. You know, it's a sad song that makes me happy, but I'm a weirdo who likes sad songs. You know,
I guess it depends on pretty much how it sounds. Like I've done sad songs that still sound kind of hard, so I can like hide behind that almost playing it live. People will be grooving with it. I'm like, no one even knows it's sad. They're turning up with it.
No, this one's sad.
But you feel sad. If you have a track that if you have a track that feels sad and the sound is sad, you know, I haven't performed like acoustic tracks. Like one of my goals for 2020 is to get better at guitar so I could have like acoustic sets where I'm just me and acoustic guitar and singing. So that's like a different vibe, but performing those kind of tracks and like giving them out to the world, I think it's important. But yeah, it is scary. It's different. I think I cling to the same kind of backbone overall as a lot of artists of like, rah, 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 bark, bark, bark. And then I can go soft sometimes, but those yelling stuff.
Loud noises,
yo, yo. Comfortable. And you go to something a little more intense sometimes. And, you know, something more heartfelt. There's just different styles. And I used to like not want to put out tracks like that and be more fearful of it, but I'm more down for that now. And I think it's obviously too because I've gotten better at singing. I'm not saying I'm a great singer now, but if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I wouldn't even like attach the word singer to my voice at all. I would be like, I'm not even close, you know.
But like I would say that from like just the shows that we've done together and seeing you rap, like we did in the battle contests and everything together, like when you perform, like the way you do your cadences and like excuse me, and then like just you even sing in some of your tracks or when you're rapping and stuff, you're just like even when you're like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It sounds nice and you go with
it's
it.
Fun. And I think if I write a track that's just like da 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 and I play it live and I'm like vavo 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 vavo, like it just makes it more fun for me live. So it's keeping
it like stretching the syllable.
Or it's like how comedians might switch their jokes up sometimes. It's like it keeps it fresh for me. It makes the performance more fun. So. But a fully singing track is something I haven't done live yet. Where like where it's not rap at all. Like,
damn,
and
that's vulnerable right there.
And it's gonna be different. I feel like the first thing I'll have to do when I perform that track is hold the mic away further than usual.
Oh man,
because I project so much. It depends on what you're going for. And I don't know. I don't go that intense. But
well, here is Braxy to sing this. No, I'm just kidding. I was just trying to put you on the spot, like, go give us some bars right now.
Always.
So, do you want to keep talking about the project, or I was going to?
I'll go through some of the tracks really quick, then we can talk about anything else. Scratch Paper, stoked on it. 14 songs, a lot of producers on it, a lot of people that came together. It's a solo album with only a few features, but a lot of producers. A lot of changes. Some songs are 5 years old. Some songs are 6 months old. I think there's even one that might be like 6 years old. There's some stuff that goes way back. Some stuff even goes to like a verse that I wrote in my old group, Master Avengers, like a piece of it, and then it starts the next one, and I abandoned that track. So it goes way back.
Reinvented song.
Yeah, and I can just briefly go through it, like just the vibe of them. Boomerang is the first single. Yeah. With Ofa Show did the production.
That's what's up. Shout out Ofa Show.
Yeah, dope style. And that one is just like a fun track. Road Trip is another kind of trap kind of vibe made by my friend Justin Chu, J Chu. He makes a lot of really cool beats. I think he worked with G Yamazawa, who if you haven't checked out, you should after this. Is really cool underground MC who just kills it. And worked with him. He lives out in LA. I think goes back and forth from LA to Stockton. And that song's about road trips in general and just life. It talks about memories earlier on growing up. Then I have the next one I called Over Here. And that's one with Zeps on it, and I'm stoked to get Zeps on the album. It was cool to vibe out with him.
You guys work good together. I see how you guys' rap styles will complement each other.
Yeah, and it's fun because I haven't done this with a rapper in a while, except for Port City with Zach with Dialect. Is the back and forth, and that's always fun for me. Like if we do a song together, we should do it that way. That's just fun. If you got two MCs in the studio, why not do like 4 bars or 2-2? So we did a bunch of 4 bars back and forth, and we wrote it together in his house.
You guys probably would be ridiculous. I haven't heard it, so you guys are probably ridiculous.
He put a little snippet out. If you want to hear, he put a small snippet out on his Instagram page that you can listen to, and it has some cool verses. And we wrote it at his house, like
because both of you guys are ridiculous.
I appreciate it.
Well, like with you guys' content and words and how you guys.
He pushes me.
You guys got both things. You guys are both like working with children, working on words and like
hip hop educators is what he calls it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So like you guys would probably have some like I don't even know what kind of content would be in that song.
Yeah, we kept it pretty chill, but yeah, he pushes me because he's really good at saying like a word and a line that links up to the third line, but it also makes sense with like linking things together, like things I wouldn't even think. And he makes some cool references that are really easy to catch.
Shout out Zeb.
Yeah, shout out Zeb. He's got some cool flows, and
he's always.
We went back and forth. Yeah, he's in that mode.
Always on.
His freestyles are really cool, and he's taught me a bit about freestyling. Like I always love freestyling, but freestyling on a stage is different for me.
So different.
And I get very intricate with my freestyles on stage, and sometimes I'm like, I could just kind of keep it more in the pocket, which I usually do in my car more. It's just different modes, freestyling's a lot of fun. As you know, it's a different part of your brain. It's just you go.
To me, it's a muscle.
It is, and you have to keep working on it. And it's like you start going somewhere else with it, and you bring it back, and it's all over the place.
Mine's like throwing a baseball. Like you're gonna be, if you throw a baseball all the time, you got a good arm slot. You won't get sore after. You know what I mean? When you don't freestyle a lot, then it's a lot. It's harder to throw that baseball.
Yeah, it's the same. I was thinking the same thing, but even like working out, I don't work out that much. And if I can get like, I'll be real, if I can get like 12 pull-ups, I'll feel great about it. If I stop for 3 weeks, I'll get like 4. That's not there anymore.
No,
it's like the
sometimes
freestyle
if I
muscle.
don't do my miles, like usually I'm able to do a mile between 7 and 8 minutes.
Shit, nice.
And then if I don't work out or don't do it for like a month or something, I go back down to like 9 minutes and I'm like tired. Because usually I'll do like 7, 8 minutes and I'm like, I'm not even tired.
You got to be
consistent. If I do 9 minutes and I'm tired,
something's up, exactly. And shoot, on that topic, I'm not freestyling enough these days. I'm just so busy, but I got to keep on it. And a lot of times I'll be like, man, I'm feeling a little off, a little like mental funk right now. And a lot of times the freestyle is right what the doctor ordered. Sometimes I'll freestyle for like 35 minutes or like a good portion of time at my house, and I'll just feel much better at it. I got everything off my chest with my own personal therapist, whose name is my name. And it's just my reflection of the mirror almost. It's just like freestyling in my own brain.
Okay. I thought I was tripping out.
I'm like, well, actually, I see it there. No.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you
and here's my same name. It's a convoluted way of expressing it. It wasn't the sharpest way of saying it, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get what you're
saying. Freestyling is like interior monologue of, you can just say stuff, and it's fun. And it's fun to have no audience freestyling, too. I like to do that. And I remember one of my friends back in the day called me out, and he's like, no, freestyling is more of a community thing. You have to do it with an audience. I was like, well, how do you got to practice still, too.
Bro, you practice with just
and it's fun. Pull up those little
what you said
word generators.
Yeah. I honestly, know what people would trip out? Like when I tell them, I'll go, it's easier when you give me a topic to rap about and freestyle about than me coming up with one.
Oh, yeah. Dude, so much we're on with the same
point to something, and I'll be going.
I'd rather someone give me 15 words.
Yeah, that's what
than 2 minutes.
Then give me
nothing.
Just like come up with something. I'm like,
that's why I used to love that round. That's why I always loved round 3 of mixed metaphor.
Yeah.
Round 3, I've had some good moments.
You do good at that. Yeah,
I remember like how you had that clip in the last one of like when they said, okay, flow about like black females or something like that, and I was like, why not? Like, I got to go somewhere with this, and I love having it no matter what.
Everyone was like thinking about like, oh damn, he might say the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
It was a pressure topic.
Yeah,
almost.
bro.
Like
because everyone's like trying to give someone.
Everything's always divisive when it shouldn't be, and everyone's like, what's he gonna say?
Like, is he gonna say something
racist?
racist?
I'm gonna try to do the best I can.
What else, bro? Keep going. You got the song with Zeps.
Yeah, Zeps, back and forth, fun one. We got GBK. The next one, that's track 4. GBK, was that really the next one? Yeah, I guess so. I'm still memorizing the flow of this album. GBK is like a short little quick track that was actually produced. That one's actually, so the next one was actually called Gone. I think I wrote my notes a little wrong. The next one's called Gone, and it's produced by JC Producing.
Okay,
it's another kind of trap one. And that one's fun too. It talks about like the cosmos and like creation of people and just random stuff. And then there's GBK, which is actually produced by Shane, who goes by Tendre now from my old rap group. And GBK was like my first rap group, which was like a bunch of friends hanging out. We didn't know what we were doing. We were aware that we were pretty bad. It was like junior year, so that was even pre-Masked Avengers. So I just want to throw that out. I was like, it's some old school stuff. And we recorded on these little floppy disks that went into a machine that we bought.
You know, D'Angelo still uses floppy disks to record and make music.
That's what's up.
It's crazy.
The machine we recorded on was crazy though. I wish I had the name. It was like BR8, I think. Don't quote me on that, audience, but it was like a all-in-one recording studio almost for the time that had like effects you could put on it, onboard effects, and it recorded on these little floppy disks. And it was pretty intense. I went half on it with a friend from my old punk rock band, but it was a cool machine. You just plug microphones into it.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't need a computer at all. It did all the computer stuff on it. And there's not a lot of gear out there like that. It's probably, it's way outdated, but it was cool. That's what we recorded some rap tracks on it back in the day.
Yeah.
And I probably don't have them anymore, but I remember them.
Yeah.
And that's just a throwback. And then we have Horizon, which is produced by Reese. And I'm just shouting all these producers because I'm just feel honored to work with them. Reese is FS Mac's little bro.
Okay, yeah, you said that.
And he kills it. He has really good style. The way he layers 808s and stuff, he's up next. He's on the come up for sure.
Yeah,
he moves in silence. He knows what he's doing.
Lasagna.
He exactly. And he's just he's on that level where like everything he touches, he knows how different styles. He's a really good producer.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked on that track, which I just shot a video for. And my videographer, shout out Brian Dunn, Lost in Time. That Lost in Time is his film co, because he drove 5.5 hours all the way up to like Humboldt area to meet me for a video.
Damn.
And the way we work is a lot of times that like I throw him some beats, I throw him some stuff. We've been friends for years, but I'm just touched by that level of commitment.
Man, isn't that so crazy? I mean, I'm like I said, like having
that's cool, right?
Yeah, people just showing love and show support and
driving to SAC to meet someone. That's one thing, but driving up to Arcata area,
time and effort, bro.
It's so he met me up.
Goes a long way.
He left at like 2 a.m. and just slept in the morning. And I was coming from Brookings, Oregon, where I went on a solo road trip, where I was on the coast, and that drive down that morning was pretty exhausting too for me. I was actually coming down with something at the time, so it was the first video I've ever shot where I had like cold symptoms going pretty strong, feeling really shitty, and just like I was like, he already came up here, I can't cancel on him. I would feel like a real jerk, and that was a fun video though, and I'm stoked for that one. Some of the best footage he's shot, in my opinion, because he has a newer camera and it just looks really good, and plus we're in like Avenue of the Giants, which is these giant redwoods that you can't wrap your arms around even. That's what they call it. Just this huge, there's a lot of that up north, but it's just this beautiful area. And, I know there's probably a few, but it's kind of cool to have a rap video with a hard trap beat in a forest.
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Because you see cities all the time, so I'm just trying to do something different.
People like the forest, bro. I've done forest things. People really appreciate it.
Nature's awesome, and it gives the vibe.
Wait, what is it? Nature's what?
Awesome.
Yeah. No,
nature's metal too.
No, nature's metal. No, but nature, the way you said it, like, I want you to be like, no, nature's
awesome. Dude, nature's freaking awesome,
bro. Like, bro, I'm one with nature, man.
That's one of my 2020 goals is like touch some more dirt or something like that.
Oh, bro, go off-roading with me this year.
Dude, I'm super down. I would be down, definitely.
Yeah, bro,
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta go the same trail every year.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy trail, but it's good views. Everybody I've ever took it to, it loves the area. It's real easy trail.
Was that close to where you had your original video, where there's like the car was going around you?
That's the exact same place.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you
I'm connecting some dots here.
Yeah, I go there every year. I've done it. Yeah, every year I've gone so far since that one. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So that video's in nature, and I'm stoked how it looks. It almost gives it a sinister look because it was dark and the sun's not coming through much, and it's raining, and it just has a cool vibe. Next track called "Hungry." And this one, I played bass on, and I don't play bass that often, and I'm not that great at bass. And one of the frets in the guitar at Press Studio was kind of messed up, and I'm a stickler for sound, and I noticed that. But I was like, hey, that's gonna be the vibe of this one. It's just gonna sound like a little ghetto or whatever. It's not gonna be perfect.
But sometimes it's better like that.
And I was just, I can't play bass that well, so I was just like, dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. And I was like, that works. Let's lay it down. We made that one, and we made that beat in the studio, put it together really fast. That's like an interlude because it's a quick like minute track. Yeah. And then Self-Help, which features Mad Spill on it. Okay. And I'm stoked on that one. We do a back and forth on that one too. I almost forgot, so I do have a couple of those. We do like a bunch of forwards back and forth on that one too. So it's another kind of two MCs trading the mic. And we do a little chorus where he sings a bit in it and I layer his singing. I love how it ends because we harmonize with each other. Yeah. And that one featured Anthony Garibay, where if you've gone to the Blackwater in the last couple of years, you've seen him. He's like really known for his blues playing. He'll just do like, he shreds on guitar, on electric guitar with like a crazy just blues. He's like one of Stockton's really good blues players. And he just just goes in. So I wanted to have his style on that track.
A lot of riffs.
Yeah, we just kind of played around with it. It took a while to consolidate all the riffs and make them sound right with a rap beat. But it does have a live sound, which works for me. And it just sounds cool. That one's like kind of a throwback to the old school. And then we got Echoes, which I produced way back, like probably 3 years ago. And I forgot how it sounded, and I didn't like my old verse. And I I was actually going through my phone. You know, I'm sure you do the same thing. A lot of artists have voice memos, and I don't look back at them enough, but I have like hundreds of voice memos. I'll go through them, and I'll play some beat ideas where I play piano. I'm like, oh, that could have been a cool beat. A lot of them are just things that could have been amazing beats that I never did, but I could go back later. But I hear this old track, and I forget what I used to call it. And the way I was trying to rap it sounded like I was flat or like sharp the whole time, wasn't quite on key. And I could see my vision, what I was trying to do though. And now that I was a better singer, I was like, oh, sweet. I could like grab this kind of crappy sounding thing, but keep the same words.
Yeah.
So that one was fun because I tried to sing a bit more. So it's another one of my kind of vulnerable.
Well, yeah, because like,
it's like my Kid Cudi kind of style.
Well, yeah, reiterate to people like you actually play piano and everything.
Yeah, so. A little bit. Not classically trained, but like to fiddle around on it.
Yeah, but I've seen you play like, you know, at shows and stuff. And people after you played, it was like, yeah. So
I know I gotta start repping that more. Yeah. Shoot.
That's what I was trying to do, Braxy.
I appreciate it. And I meant like, yeah, you repping it on this important. I mean, I got to start repping it live. Why don't I bring a keyboard up on stage sometimes? You know, I can change my live gig. Yeah, and bring a synth on stage or something like that. Yeah. Seriously, like, you know, it's easy to have all those cliches, oh, new year, new me, but there's a lot of things I do want to try in my live game.
Just do it, bro. That's why I just did it, bro. And then things come together.
Haven't you done you've done a comedy set or something like that?
Did a comedy like the second time.
Dude, give me a handshake on that. Thanks, that's amazing stuff. Yeah. I want to try to do the same thing at one point, but I gotta just not say it.
Yoga and
not
jiu-jitsu.
Just talk about it.
Yoga and jiu-jitsu is the next thing.
Sweet.
Yeah. Comedy, yoga, jiu-jitsu. Those are the three things I've been slacking on. Music and everything else has been cool. It's just I need to get something physical competition. Because even working out, it's not working for me. You know what I mean? As far as getting my competitive thing, and I can't put it into rap because it's negative. I just want to be positive, positive experiences. So I'm just gonna try to have more positive experiences, like bettering myself, you know, and just keep working on like music and podcasts, and then make sure that I have lifting weights and jiu-jitsu or yoga and all those things to kind of keep my mind, you know, clear.
Yeah, all those important things. And I feel like it's also. All those things help you out, and I love playing live, and I always get like a little nervous before every show I do, but I would get very nervous before a comedy show, and I haven't felt that kind of feeling in a long time. It's good to feel that kind of feeling.
That's why I did it with comedy, because that's the only time I get kind of nervous, but honestly,
I'll get very nervous.
I kind of feel like I'm just bullshitting up there, honestly.
I would like, knowing who I am as a person, I could try to do that, but no, I'd probably approach it with this like, I've heard enough podcasts talking about the process where I'd like think about my bits and write them down and rehearse them.
I did the first time. The first time I went straight up written down and I recorded it. I practiced in the camera like 4
that's what
times.
I'd be doing for sure.
I did that, and then it came out cool. But no matter what, you're always gonna have some other things, or something's gonna happen during there when you're there.
That brings you somewhere else.
Yeah. So like, even though like, so this time it was total free ball. I was like, oh, I have 3 ideas. Let me try to remember them. I remembered 2 of them, and then I just talked about things in the room for a minute, and I probably talked for 4 or 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But I just felt like I was like, you know, BSing up there, and like people still said like, "Oh, way to go, man!" I guess I just have that personality, but
comfortable on stage is cool.
Yeah, I just felt imposter syndrome.
Yeah, so that's dope though. Congrats on that, and that's something I want to try in 2022. And yeah, it's all about just having those things that hold us down as people. I'm trying to get in some more stuff too. You mentioned jiu-jitsu. I used to do, I know it's not the same, but like when I was, I don't know, I want to say like age 10 to 15, I did karate, and I missed that. And I'd like to sign up for some jiu-jitsu classes just to taste that again. Yeah. And even though I'd be amateur and I know I'm amateur, why not play with it? I want to learn how to choke somebody. Dude, just in general, just moving around. I want to learn how to
squeeze somebody's neck.
It's important.
Or hurt their arm.
Yeah, shit. It's good to know how these things
I want to know how to omoplata.
Get into deep level technique. But yeah, album, that's pretty much it. There's only a couple others. There's one called Artifacts after that. And that one I produced as well. And it's an older track. And it's like one of those tracks that some of my friends have even said like, oh, maybe it's not there for everyone. I was like, you're putting that one on the album? It's kind of out there.
Yeah.
And I just have to.
But you're kind of out there with some of the things. As long as you got some that aren't, you know what I mean? You can go out there.
It's an eclectic. I guess why I bring that up is like, to me, it is good to have feedback and response from our peers and people that like weigh in on music. But it's also the cool feeling when you're just like, well, I know I'm putting it on the album. Yeah. I'm like fully certain of it. I've said certain things on that track that are important to me, and I like that it sounds strange. And the drums are just kind of weird, and it just works for me. So, but it is towards the end of the album because I know it's not going to be overall. And who knows? I could be wrong, but I think it won't be overall like the one that everyone's like, oh, Artifacts. But You never know.
Yeah,
and it's going to be the name of my next album, actually, too, because it's just fitting, because Artifacts refers to, like, older things. And my next album has a bunch of old jams, too, and new ones. After that track's one called Carpe Diem. That was also produced by JC Producing, who rips it as well. And that one has dialect on it. So repping Rebel Activity on that one.
That's what's up.
And then Pressure Pointers is track 13, produced by Yuck Nasty. I've played it live a few times. I played it live at the Mixed Metaphor one.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was fun. It's kind of a longer piece. And then Love Notes is like the last one, which is like the vulnerable one we were talking about with just me and a guitar. My friend Marcarino supplied guitar and just bearing my soul. And I played drums on it. We got the drum set up, and I grew up playing drums, so
there's a lot of intricate things on the album and everything.
Yeah, a lot of pieces. And
a lot of pieces.
Trying to think, those are all people I should shout out. Beyond that, shout out Alex, who was my sound engineer at the Press Recording Studio, and Matt, who did the mastering of the album. And beyond that, that's pretty much it. And the artist, actually, which is pretty cool, Crystal, and her art name, I'm gonna forget it right now, but I actually had two students do, one did the front cover, one did the side cover, because I'm gonna make physical copies. One did the back cover, so students supply the art, which is really cool.
That's so great.
It's great for their portfolio, and some of them just have bars with they were telling me about their process, how they use like a tablet, but they don't even look at the tablet. You know, they use the pen on the tablet and they just look at the screen as it draws, and they refine it from there. So that blew my mind that they're not really looking down; they're just looking at the screen as the art's created. And some of the stuff, we'll maybe have to I'm just gonna have to expose the stuff on social media and
that's why I look at the stuff you post and I'm like, damn, these kids are very talented. And smart.
They're crazy talented, and I'm stoked to work with them. And it's a cool little portfolio bump for them too, to say they worked with an artist and everything, local artists, and I could help them get more commissions. And it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, one of my other students recently told me he has a 6-song EP with his friends, rap album. It sounds really good. And I said, hey, go to her. Get your art done. So I'm already giving them this kind of little networking. It's really cool. And then the disc cover for the CD is going to be done by Joel Munoz, who is also a good friend of mine that works at Lincoln as well. And he kills it in what he does. And he's going to try to incorporate both of their student styles into his kind of a conglomerate of a fusion of all of them. And I'm stoked on the art. It's vibrant, psychedelic, kind of trippy looking stuff. And it's going to be cool to put it all out. And it'll be cool to get physical items.
When's the project coming out?
It's really close. I got to do all the distribution stuff on TuneCore soon. I don't have a set date. I want to do a bit more promo things with these little video recaps that I'm going to put on Instagram of certain things about the tracks. But, probably end of January or early February or sometime in that time range.
We'll put this
quarter one.
We'll put the podcast out around that time, like a week before, a week after, or something like that. Whatever feels comfortable for you.
With some synergy with it. And honestly, I don't mind this. More than likely, the digital version will drop first, and that'll be the main release date. Will be for you can listen to it on Spotify and Apple Music now. And then the physical ones, even if the distributor for that takes a little longer, I don't mind that. It feels like 2 weeks after. I'm gonna sell those $10 a piece.
Then you're gonna promote that product for probably the rest of the year.
Exactly, and have it at live shows with me. And I'll probably make some T-shirts too. And I just thought of that right now as I'm talking to you, but I probably should. Might as well.
You could hear too at A23.
That'd be cool.
They do
I'll definitely keep that in mind.
They made this banner.
Heck yeah!
Shout out A23.
Look at that.
Anything else you want to leave with the people, bro?
Yeah.
Scratch Paper coming out soon. Or out now whenever this is released.
Scratch Paper.
Look at the videos. Check out Braxy.
I love to this guy right here for what he's doing too, because I think podcasts are important, and it makes me want to have dialogue with people. It makes me want to do the same thing.
Connect with people and stuff.
It's inspiring. It's cool stuff. And Scratch Paper, beat making class. One of the only ones in Northern California right now, which is really cool.
Stockton.
Audio production.
Stockton.
They get a 2.5 MIDI keyboard and they just make some beats. And I'm not an amazing producer. I know a lot of producers. I'm okay. I don't love my stuff. When I hear a student and they let me put on their headphones and they're making some crazy good stuff. Sometimes it's mind blowing. I'm like, shoot, if you already sound this good,
you need to keep going.
Yeah, you need to. And a lot of times, I'm going to transfer to college. I'm going to get busy. I'm like, don't stop. Maybe put it on the hold for a second, but some of these cats are just really talented. And, I'm trying to bring in more guest speakers. I could bring you in at one point. I like to bring in all kinds of people. I brought in Yuck Nasty already. I brought in Zeps. I want to bring in, who else do I want to bring in? I want to bring in this semester, a few people, probably Alex from the Press Recording Studio and Darian Fields. And Darian Fields, I guess that's the only other thing I want to tell everyone too, is he's helped me out on my next album, which is I got a lot of work right now, which is surprisingly almost done. So I have my full-length 14-track album, and I have another album that I've almost finished with Darian that's like probably 80% complete. That's called Artifacts, and it's like a 10-song album too, another long one. But I probably won't drop that till like June or something like that. Obviously push it away on purpose, just kind of hold on to it, but polish it, make sure it sounds
it's no
cool.
rush for any of this shit. You know what I mean? It comes out when it comes out, when it's
exactly.
ready.
And that one's came together really quick. We're just running through it, so.
Hell yeah. Well, I would say just everybody just do your thing. Just put it out there when it's ready and when you feel comfortable and you just know you gave it your all. I mean, I think Braxy and me are just like exemplifying that example. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that this podcast does that for you. Go check his music out.
Hell yeah.
Go check his videos. I don't know, man. I'm just so proud and happy that you made me 4 for 5 today.
Hey.
I've been telling this to everybody, bro. Without you, there's no me, bro. So I appreciate you.
And I appreciate that. And I guess to highlight where you could check out my music and everything, just to plug my stuff a little bit, it's just Braxy. You'll see it in the title, Braxy. If you search that on YouTube, you'll find it. Search it on Spotify, you'll find it. Search it on Apple Music. I'm lucky that my rap name is, for the most part,
Mine does the same thing,
pretty random.
Yeah.
So but I finally did find, I knew it was bound to happen. There's like a Braxy Beats, like electro and rap beat people out the UK or something like. I saw one result recently that wasn't me, and I was like, dang it, I thought I had the domain. I was like covered at this point, but. Search Braxy. You can find my stuff on all platforms.
We'll put the link in there.
Bandcamp, SoundCloud, all that stuff. And I'll be pumping out new tunes. So always appreciate the support and appreciate the talks.
Gang, bro. Rebel activity to infinity. Bow!
Bow!
Say yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. If you're really with it, then just paint it up to dawn, and then I'm kicking it. Going in, where we swim. We sit in the city stinking, but we're never sinking again. Culture is here, no vultures are here. We're all people that wanna go drinking some beer. So lace up, that's the way in your face, yeah. Understand what I wanna do, I'm paid, yeah. But this is something that I would do for no money. Understand that it's sweet like honey. Here we go again. Yes, I said it before. One more time, grew up on that hardcore. Bands jumping, stage diving in the place. This is something that I do before I'm wasted. Hey. It's longer than I thought it was. Understand what I want to do is not a rotten buzz. This is just shocking buzz. Chilling with conglomerates, butterflies on the wall. Yeah, that's the monarch's kid. That's the way that it goes. Understand what we're doing when I'm spitting these flows. It's got a long time, and I'm in that little ratio of 1 to 1. Understand? The son of the golden sun. That's the way. I'm Braxy today, I'm teacher the next, I'm manifesting Zen, I hold the pen and I'm doing what I do with it.
Hey, what it is, it's Harmon Warhol. Hey, click all the links aside next to me. Thanks for watching, subscribe, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Do something, please show love, hey, and get love back. Thank you.